Hi, my name is Minh-Hai Tran, and I'm a registered dietitian and owner of Mindful Nutrition, a nutrition prep practice in Seattle. So today I've got a couple of tips for you if you struggle with a food police in your head. So first let me define the food police. It's a voice in your head that almost has a mean tone at times where it may mean well by trying to dictate rules of what, when, how much you should eat, what's okay, what's forbidden, but it often is unhelpful and will often backfire as well. And oftentimes people just want to rebel against it. You know, the food police can come with a history of dieting, or maybe you're on a current diet that tries to dictate what and how much you should be eating. So if you're trying to shift away from this food police because you recognize that a lot of times it's really not helpful, I've got a couple of tips for you. So the first tip is to shift from the rules in your head to how your body feels physically. Let me give you an example. So maybe you're stressed about making an eating decision, whether it's what, when, or how much to eat. And there's a part of you that wants to be good on your diet and go by, you know, how many points you're allowed, or calories, or whatever rules it may be. My first tip is to drop the food rules and instead try to shift to how your body feels physically. Okay, so you may think, how will I feel physically after eating this? And will it be comfortable, uncomfortable? Will I feel deprived if I don't have this? So instead of making food decisions just from the rules in your head, try to shift to how your body feels. Okay? And if the food police disagrees with the wisdom of your body, choose your body every time. And by the way, that tip comes from Evelyn Tribole, who is one of the co-authors of Intuitive Eating, also one of my mentors. And she also recommends asking the second question: will I enjoy this more now or later? Will I enjoy eating this food more now or later? So if you're on a diet, you might think, you know, oh, am I going to be good or am I going to be bad? Or might as well eat this now before I come to my senses and I'll be good tomorrow, or I'll start a clean slate on Monday. You know, those are typical classic diet thoughts. So instead of that, which is not very helpful, asking yourself, because you can have it any time, right? Am I going to enjoy this more now or another time? Right? It's not a have to get it now because it's not forbidden. Right? We always want what we can't have, right? And if you're physically hungry, a lot of times that will make food taste better, so that may come into the equation as well as you're making a decision based on how you feel. You know, that's information only you have. The second tip is to introduce a self-compassion tool. So in that moment when you're feeling confused about a food decision, that's often a moment of suffering. And there's some early intriguing research on how self-compassion can actually help you to make healthier eating decisions for you. And so one tool, and I got this from Dr. Kristen Neff, who is a pioneer researcher on self-compassion at the University of Texas in Austin, along with numerous spiritual teachers who recommend trying a loving kindness mantra. So maybe in that moment you simply say to yourself something like, you know, may I be kind to myself in this moment? May I give myself the compassion I need? Something that you may even say silently to yourself. Even that act of tenderness, of kindness, can help you to feel more grounded in your body and be better equipped to make a healthful eating decision versus trying to decide whether or not you're going to be good or bad based on some arbitrary food rules. If you're trying to make a food decision that you feel stressed about, you know, that's a moment of suffering, and any moment of suffering is an opportunity for self-compassion. It makes it easier when you're kind to yourself to make helpful eating decisions. On the contrary, if you're on a diet and tend to feel a lot of food guilt and judge yourself about what you eat, it's actually harder to eat healthfully. Right? It's easier to want to continue to overeat, to kind of almost change the channel in your brain to distract yourself, or even undereat as a way of distracting. So bringing in that kindness, that compassion in that moment can make it easier to stay connected and present with yourself and your body and help you to make more helpful eating decisions. And if you like those tips, I encourage you to sign up for my newsletter at mindfulnutritionseattle.com, and I'll be sharing more tips on non-diet, mindful eating, intuitive eating to help you make peace with food and your body.